Hi, everybody, and thanks for coming to our webinar. I want to thank Dave Levinsky and Growth Inc. for inviting us here tonight. I have to apologize. Ty Crandall had an emergency, so I was thrown at the last minute. You're stuck with the B team. Actually, it won't be that bad, but again, I apologize that Ty couldn't make it. He got called out at the very last second. But we're going to go through this tonight. We're going to dive right in, and we're going to show you how to get $250,000 in business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your Social Security number. My name is Steve Weibel. Weibel just like Bible. And again, we're going to show you how to get this money tonight for your business and easily get business loans and credit lines. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I help oversee the largest business credit partner division in the USA at Credit Suite. What we do here, besides helping business owners build their business credit, we actually have partners, thousands of partners across the country that are working with other small business owners and teaching them how to build their business credit. And I oversee that division. We train them, from soup to nuts, so that when we're done with them, it's almost like they work for us. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I spent 20 years in the finance industry. That included owning a hard money company. We would lend money to real estate investors based on the deal, not on their personal credit. I also owned over 300 rentals at one time. I've built a $25 million printing company, and unfortunately, I did most of this in my personal name. The big mistake I did is I didn't know anything about business credit, and I signed for everything. And at one point, I was $20 million in debt. Couldn't buy a house, but I had $20 million in debt for my printing company. I have been invited to speak about building business credit nationwide. I've been everywhere in this country except nothing further than Las Vegas. I have not been to California. I'm waiting for my first invite. So I tell you this not to brag, but I tell you so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've done that. Now, let's dive right in. What we're going to cover today. Today, we're going to talk about, again, building credit for your business that's tied to your EIN, not your Social Security number. Now, most people don't understand what business credit is. Business credit is credit that your business has, so it stands on its own 2 feet. Nobody's going to ask for your Social Security number. And we know the secret sauce to build that the right way so that you can get large loans. What you'll find, and actually the SBA says this, is that business credit tends to be 5 to 100 times larger than what you would get in personal credit. I'll give you an example. If you have a $3,000 credit card with, let's say, Apple, the odds of you buying more than one computer from Apple are fairly slim. So Apple will tend to extend credit lines around that nature. But if you're a business, they're going to give you significantly more, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, because they get that a business may need to buy more than one computer, obviously. So what we're going to cover today, first thing we're going to cover is how you can immediately get business credit that's linked to your EIN, not your Social Security number, even if you're a startup. If you plan on starting a business tomorrow, we're going to be able to help you build your business credit so that you're able to get large credit lines, even if you have bad personal credit. And the reason bad personal credit doesn't matter is everything should be tied to your EIN. What most business owners do, and we've all done it, I'm guilty, is we start our business, we're excited to build our business, and as we're growing, we have to finance, we have to get credit cards, we have to buy trucks for delivery, whatever it is, and our natural instinct, because we've been raised this way, is to go to a bank, get a loan, sign for it, and on we go. Now, in the meantime, our credit scores are getting destroyed while we're helping our business grow. So we're going to show you how to get around that. Second thing we're going to talk about is how to immediately start using your business credit to get credit you want and need from major sources like Walmart, Amazon, and I'm not going to read the slide to you, but you can read it, but pretty much every major store you could think of, including Visa, MasterCard, American Express, real cash cards. Our system's going to take you from point A to point B so that you can build 100, 150,000, 250,000. We even have one gentleman that built $1.2 million in credit just utilizing what we do, and we'll get to him later. Okay. Now, we're also going to talk about how you can access loans even when the banks say no, even as a startup with credit challenges or if you lack collateral. Again, we're going to walk through this step by step and show you how you can get access to these loans. Now, sorry, I just had a blip here. Most people fail. Apologize. Most people fail trying to get money to grow their business. Here's why. The first place most people want to go is to a bank. It's natural. That's what we've been trained to do. You need a loan, you go to the bank, you ask for the loan, they run your credit, either personal or business. If you have no business, then it's obviously going to be personal. And what's going to happen is they're going to say no. As a matter of fact, they say no 97% of the time. The SBA even points out that 96% of all business loans come from sources other than banks. The reason is because banks are federally insured. They're stuck in a box. They can only lend on certain criteria. You could be friends with the president of a bank, and if he's going to lend you money and he's insured by the Fed, he's stuck in a box. So again, most people get money from their bank when they need money. Most people don't know that EIN credit can be built regardless of your personal credit quality. So I don't care if you were just bankrupt personally 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, 6 days ago, or filed yesterday. If you have a business, we're going to be able to show you how to build your business credit so that has zero effect on your ability to borrow money and to build your business credit, and to build your credit, build your business. Like most businesses, most people don't understand that business credit is a building process. And what I like to say to people is, look, it's a journey, not a destination. Okay, as you're growing your business credit, there's no end to it. You can start off within 3, 4, 5, 6 months at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in credit. People go, wow, that's great, and then they stop. It's a process. It's a journey. You could take this up to 7 figures easily without ever giving your Social Security number away. Many entrepreneurs don't know that money is available based on business strengths. Now, obviously, you can read, but what happens is when creditors lend you money for your business based only on the business, they're looking at your ability to pay, or they're actually looking at your payment history. Give you an example. Your personal credit is based on a percentage of inquiries, a percentage of your utilization, and obviously how you pay your bills. I think it's 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 40. Business credit is strictly based on how you pay. So you can have a $100,000 line of credit with ABC company, have $99,000 outstanding, and have a perfect credit score as long as you pay your bills on time. That's the real big difference between business and personal credit as far as reporting and scoring goes. Okay, now let's explain why we hope you're here. This webinar is for you if you're looking for money to start or grow a business. We're going to show you how to get money right away and how to continue to get money to either start or grow your business. The biggest issue with most business owners is if they're not growing, they're dying. There's no such thing as a stagnant business. If you did $1 million last year and you do $1 million this year, you've gone backwards. Cost of living, cost of expenses going up, payroll. So in order to grow your business, well, obviously sales have to go up, but you have to be able to finance that growth. And that puts a lot of people out of business. And I'll tell you why in a little bit and how that actually happened to me. If you want high limit credit accounts that aren't linked to your Social Security number, you can secure these regardless of your personal credit, which we already talked about. This webinar is also for you if you want to get the easiest and fastest way to get the most money for your business. And you want to get credit lines and loans that are tied to your business, not to your Social Security number. Let me tell you why I can help. This is my story. If you're skeptical about this, I know how you feel. I've built several businesses using my own money and credit, not knowing there was a better way. I built a $25 million company. I was literally just talking about this tonight. It's a printing company. Very successful. I got out of the Marine Corps in the 80s. Sorry, I'm old. Didn't know what to do, went into sales, worked for my father just selling printing, made so much money that I put him out of business. He couldn't finance the growth. I was too young to understand what that meant. I decided I would show him a better way. I started my own company, took his company, which was 1.2 million, I believe back then, and took mine up to $25 million. I thought I was a super success. What I noticed was my sales were going backwards, or my profit. My sales weren't, but my profit was going backwards. I was signing for everything. I ran out of credit. We needed to expand to get a new big account on, and I couldn't get approved anywhere. I didn't know anything about business credit. All I was offered was cash flow financing, which is super high interest rate, and receivable financing, which is like borrowing from the mob. So what eventually ended up happening is my competitors recognized this about me and gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I had to sell out. I did okay, but I think I gave away tens of millions of dollars because I really didn't understand about building business credit. It gets worse. I took that money and I bought 300 rental properties in New Jersey. Now, not all at once, but I started off with 5, 10. Then I started refining properties, again, in my name, and grew it and grew it and grew it and grew it. And I wanted to end up being, a real estate magnate. Again, ran out of credit, didn't know anything about business credit. Even my on-staff contractors, their American Express cards were all in my name. Anything they needed to buy, they used I didn't even have a Home Depot account. Everything was in my name. Eventually, as we all know, the crash happened in 2007, 2008. 300 rentals. I had over 100 properties under construction to flip, and it all came crashing down. Now, that's okay. That's business. That happens, except it took me down personally as well. Literally wiped me out. I had a house worth, at the time, 1.2 million. When they came to take it away and we had to move, they told me they could maybe sell for $400,000. This is a 6,000 square foot house in New Jersey on 10 acres. All of this is a result. I tell you this not to feel bad for me. I'm actually glad it happened. It woke me up. But I lost everything due to my personal guaranteeing of all these debts. So when things went bad, I couldn't just walk away and go, hey, better luck next time. It took me down personally. I moved to Florida, stayed in real estate because I was a really good real estate agent, and found Credit Suite by accident. Somebody introduced me to them. I started following their steps and realized they were less than 20 miles from my house. I ran. I didn't walk. I ran here and begged them for a job. Begged them for a job. Greatest thing I've ever done. Now, every day I get to help people like yourselves build your business credit, help build your business. I get happy phone calls every day. Anyway, like I said, a buddy introduced this to me. So let's talk about what is business credit, right? Sounds easy. What business credit is credit that's tied strictly to your EIN and strictly based on your ability to pay, and it's in the business name only. I hear people all the time, excuse me while I take a sip of my Mountain Dew. I hear people all the time say, well, listen, I have 5 credit cards in the business name. You do? Yeah, who do you have? And they give me certain names. I'll give you an example. Capital One Spark. I guess that's the big new hot thing. Well, Capital One Spark reports on your personal credit. So do they really have business credit? No. Most people really don't understand what it is. I had no idea. $25 million company, I had no idea. And by the way, I had lots of vendors who gave me terms. I was taking $1 million in paper, turning into $3 million that I would bill Blue Cross Blue Shield, give them 60-day terms and have to pay my paper in 10 days. That's a formula for failure. Because I didn't have a credit line that I could use to pay my paper people off and wait to collect my money from Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's just one example. So that's what business credit is. With business credit, the business builds its own credit profile and credit score for its EIN number. Now, people think, okay, what about a DUNS number? We'll get into that. But whenever a business credit line is reported to the reporting agencies, it's reported based on your address. They don't ask for your EIN number. They don't ask for anything. They look for your address. When they run a search, it ties into your EIN number, so it's automated. It's not something you have to worry about doing. The credit is in the business name and based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owners, which we talked about. And that's important. When you're building your business credit, when you get credit for your business, no one cares what your personal credit is if you have built it the correct way. They may ask for you to sign for it as the signor, but you're not guaranteeing it. You're just somebody that's actually signing for the credit on behalf of the business. The business is its own entity, just like you are your own entity, your own person. So the credit that it's receiving is based on its ability to pay, not yours. Now, here's the good news. The business qualifies for high limit revolving store credit if the business qualified. High limit revolving store credit cards like Office Depot, Home Depot, Sam's Club, Costco. And by the way, if I'm talking really fast, I apologize. It's a bad habit I have. I grew up in a big family and we talk and ate fast. And if you can't tell, I'm from the Northeast, and I'm still excited about the Eagles winning. Sorry for all you people from the North, from Boston out there. Anyway, so if I am talking too fast, please put in the comments section, hey, Steve, slow down. I'd be happy to do it for you. In addition to that, if you have any questions, I will answer them all at the end. You can put them in at any time, but if I don't answer right away, it's only because I don't want this to drag out for 3 hours. Okay, I will get to all your questions. So back to this. So the business is going to qualify for these high limit revolving store credit cards. And when I say high limit, I talked about that earlier. Instead of getting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you can see numbers like 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 credit. We have one client just get a $200,000 Visa card, and we'll talk about her in a little bit. The business actually ends up becoming more lendable, providing easy access to credit lines and loans. Let me explain what I mean by that. As you're building your business credit, just like when you built your personal credit, your first credit card was probably a $300 credit limit, or it was a guaranteed card, or somebody co-signed for an auto loan. Nobody came to you and said, hey, congratulations, you have a job now, here's $1 million mortgage. You had to build it. Just like you built your personal credit, you're going to build your business credit the same way, only it goes much, much faster. The way we've set it up, we take 5 to 7 years and turn it into 6 months or less. So anyway, once you have these trade lines and you have cash flow, now we're talking going into cash flow, you will be able to walk into a bank with all of your trade lines, your excellent business credit, you have cash flow, you have good finances, you'll be able to get what you need. Okay, and the example I use is you can have an 800 credit score, which is a high credit score for a person. Apply for a mortgage. If you don't have a job, you're not going to get approved. So at some point, you're going to need cash flow in your business, and we're all in business to have cash flow. Now, you don't need cash flow to build your business credit, but at some point, it's going to be necessary. So let me tell you why business credit is awesome. All right. The first thing is it has no effect on your personal credit. No adverse impact on your consumer scores whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it actually has the exact opposite effect. If you have a current business right now and you're using an American Express card or a Visa, or you have an auto loan because your delivery truck broke down, you had to buy a new one, you had to sign for it, that goes on your personal credit. It's affecting your debt to income ratios. And this is the funniest part. When I had my $25 million company, I couldn't buy a house. My debt to income ratio was so ridiculously high that I couldn't buy my home until after I sold the printing company and all that debt was paid off. So here I was, I'm living in a rental and my employees all own their own homes. So it actually has the opposite effect. Instead of affecting your personal credit, you'll use less and less of your own personal credit, more and more of the business, so your credit scores will actually go up. I don't care how low they are, they will go up, okay? As if you're going to answer me when I say okay. It's not based on your consumer credit quality, and you get approved even with bad credit. That's a big deal. All of us, or most of us, know if you own a business, it's hand to mouth. The business eats first before we do. So what bills get paid first? The business bills get paid first. It ends up wrecking most entrepreneurs' credit when they first start out. And when I say most, in the 90th percentile. So if you are one of those business owners, don't worry. We're going to be able to build your business credit so that no matter how bad your credit is, you're going to be able to get the loans and the lines of credit that you need. There's no personal guarantee, by the way, and you're not personally liable for your business debts, which we talked about. That's what happened to me. This is the best part. Business credit is unbelievably fast to build. You can get credit literally immediately after this webinar. And anyone can see your business reports. Prospects, competitors, potential buyers of your business, investors, that's a big deal. Remember when I said that my competitor made me an offer I couldn't refuse? They knew I couldn't afford to grow my business. They knew I was stuck. They knew I had won this huge contract. I won't tell you who I won it with, but it was a huge printing contract. It would have added 50% to my sales. I couldn't finance it. They knew it. They were competing with me. They did their research, smart guys, and came to us and said, we know you can't handle it. We're willing to buy your company out because it's public information. They ran my DUNS number. They saw I had nothing reporting. How was I possibly going to finance this unless I did it personally? So keep that in mind. If you build your business credit, your company actually becomes more valuable, way more valuable. Think about it. If your company's doing $500,000 in sales and there's a store right down the street doing the exact same sales and the exact same product with the exact same margins, but they have 20 trade lines reporting an unbelievable business credit and you have none, who's more valuable? Certainly they are. They can grow. They're not stuck. They're not stuck based on how their cash flow is. They have the opportunity to grow their business. All right, so you're also going to get much greater borrowing ability once you have both consumer and commercial credit. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. The limits per the SBA are 10 to 100 times higher. That's significant. You have a $20,000 credit card in your pocket. You should be able to get anywhere between $200,000 and $2 million in credit. Okay. Now, obviously, that's based on personal, but like we talked about, if you need to borrow money to buy computers, or let's use vehicles as an example, you need one vehicle. Well, companies can buy fleets of vehicles. So obviously, Ford Credit's going to have motivation to give a much larger limit to a company than it would an individual. I don't know about you, but I've never walked into a dealership and bought 7 cars at once. My brother actually owns a pool company here in Tampa, and he did exactly that. He walked in and bought 11 Toyotas, all on his business credit, all at once. He could never have done that personally. It would have never happened. All right, you can get approved even if you can't get a bank loan or alternative financing, even as a startup. We'll get into that in a little bit as to how you're going to do that. You can access loans, credit lines. I mean, you can fund your business like we talked about and use your profits to grow. And it gives you a huge competitive advantage. I didn't have that advantage when I ended up selling out. My competitor did. There also, I skipped one and I apologize. Oh, your business credit quality determines if you'll get approved for a business loan, how much you'll get approved for, and the terms you're going to pay. You can be denied financing based on business credit quality, even if you have no business credit established. This is something most people don't know. You have a small business and you'll have no credit. If I pulled your DUNS report or your Experian report, it's probably going to be bad. And I'll show you in a little bit what I'm talking about. Even if you have no credit at all, because it looks to the reporting agencies like you're out of business. So even if you have good personal credit, you're rock solid financially in your business, but you have no business credit, if somebody does decide to pull your business credit for any reason, even if it's just going for a loan with a bank, they're actually going to suggest that you are financially unstable because you have no business credit. Again, something most people don't know. I didn't know. Let's look at some actual reports. And where are my reports? Oh, here we go. You can be issued a failing score for your business even if you have no credit reporting. We just talked about that because you look unestablished and possibly on the verge of bankruptcy. Here's an example. This is someone with a $1,000 credit limit recommendation. They're at 28, which is a medium risk, and their financial stability risk is high. If you look, it's going to say lack of active trades. If you look at where their risk score is, right there, if you look at that 6, they are almost out of business as far as the credit reporting agencies are concerned. They're only being recommended for a $1,000 credit line, which is nothing. And the reasoning is lack of active trades. And here's what it is. There are no trades. There's nothing. There's nothing reporting whatsoever. So if you pulled this company's credit and you were going to issue them credit and you looked at this, you would think, oh, we're not lending them money. They're almost out of business. That, unfortunately, is how business credit reporting works. Here's the good news. Even one account, which you can get immediately after this webinar, by the way, could take you from no score or a failing score to an unbelievably great score to become way more lendable. Let me show you what I mean. This person is now recommended for $2,500. By the way, same company. They're considered a low risk with a 96 score and low to medium with a financial stability risk score of 55. Now, where do you see the difference? Look where they're at now. They were prior down at the 5. Now they're all the way up at the 1. They're super low risk. All right, this score predicts the likelihood of serious credit delinquencies. So the credit report agencies are saying, hey, listen, we think this company is going to pay you well. Here's the only thing they added. This is unbelievable. One account, a net 30 account. And let me explain a net 30 for those who you don't know. A net 30 account is if you buy a product, I ship it to you, I send you a bill and you pay me within 30 days. It's called a net 30 account. There can be net 15, net 30, net 55, net 60, so on and so forth. Okay. So all they did was get one net 30 account for under $100. That's it. And their score went from 28 to a 96. That's one account. Okay. Look, you can see what happened. 28 in April, June, July, September shot up to a 47, October, December up to a 93. So in a matter of a couple of months, they went from unlendable to a tremendous score. That's a big deal. That can change the way your business operates. Now, as you continue to grow your credit, the business reporting agencies even recommend you for more and more money. This is what I love about this. It's going to help you get higher approvals on business credit cards, loans, and credit lines. Now, I just read from the slide, but that's really all I can say about it. It literally will change the way lenders look at you. Again, I'll show you an example. There's your 28 score, recommended for $1,000. Here you're recommended for $2,500 with only that extra trade line. Here's one, believe it or not, they're still showing a medium risk and a medium risk, but because they have more trade lines, you can see they're recommended for $6,900. Here's what they've got. They've got a $100 with hardware and a net 30 with zero right now. So now I've got two trade lines and they're recommended for $7,000. And the next step, the next one we're going to show you, 74, they're recommended for $15,000, and check out what they had. Same company, just added one more trade line. So they went from way back in the beginning with no trade lines reporting $1,000 credit limit recommendation. They moved up to $2,500 after they got one trade line. They went to a second trade line, didn't order much, so there's very little reporting. You see balance zero, recent high credit, nothing. Their risk is down to medium, but their credit limit recommendation is up to $7,000. They've done nothing at this point. Then we move up to their third trade line. They really haven't done anything again. And look, they moved up to $15,600. That's the credit recommendation from the reporting agency. It's a big deal. The next one, did I miss one? I think I did. There it is. Here we go. Look at this one. They're being recommended for $65,000. They have a $100,000 credit with somebody at $26,000 credit. I can continue to show you more and more of these. Here's another one. Recommended for $700,000. They've got lots of trade lines. Okay. Whoop. Sorry about that. They've got lots of trade lines. So you can see as you're building your trade lines, you're going to get recommended for higher and higher and higher limits. This is just a natural progression. It happens every time. Now, like my next slide said, every successful business in America has business credit. I said this today to somebody and I got laughed at because they immediately came back to me with Apple. Probably true. Maybe Apple has no debt, but every other company in this country has debt. You don't see the CEO of Walmart signing personally for everything they bring in. As a matter of fact, they're the best at it. There's nobody that uses business credit better than Walmart. They buy products on credit, sell them to you, use your money to pay off the credit, and continue that cycle. Every successful company in America has business credit and has built their business credit. Some of them not quite the right way, but every company that wants to be successful has to have business credit. Now, what is business credit? Let's talk about Experian. Here's Facebook. Biggest company in the world, right? They have 40 trade lines. They have a credit score. They have a profile plus, 40 trade lines. Here's another one you guys know, Dell, 83 trade lines reporting, right? How about this? Microsoft, 131 trade lines. This is Microsoft. They have more money than anybody except maybe Apple. They can pay cash for everything, but yet they have 131 trade lines reporting. Speaking of Apple, 138 trade lines. I was right. They do have credit. See, I guess I won that argument today. Pilot Travel Centers. That's Pilot Travel Centers. That's the gas stations you see on the highways, the rest areas. They have 153 trade lines reporting. These are not small companies. Look at Publix. That's down by where we're at. That's I guess in the Northeast you'd have Acme or Pathmark, whatever. They're the biggest privately owned chain of grocery stores, 171 trade lines. Walmart, I told you they're the best at it, 513 trade lines reporting. This is funny. Mars Incorporated, largest candy company in the country, only 22 trade lines reporting. It's the oddest thing I've ever seen. Clean Slate Credit, which we're going to talk about soon, has 8 trade lines. So now the largest company, candy company in the country, has 22. One of our clients, and this is old by the way, started this company and within 2 months had 8 trade lines, or 1 month had 8 trade lines reporting. So you can see how quickly you can move up. Success Tax Relief, another one of our clients, 14 trade lines in 30 days, 30 to 45 days. And we're going to talk about these 2 companies in a little bit. So the question is, how do you build business credit? Let's talk about one of the ones we just mentioned, Success Tax Relief. Diafalis, excuse me, I always mispronounce his name, Thelma. The samples are in LaPorte, Texas. Okay, I'm going to read this to you because this is a big deal. They went to their bank to get a business line of credit and they turned them down. They got started with us. We helped them set up their business credibly and we helped them build their business credit. After following the steps, they've secured over $96,000 in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express and got approved instantly with no limit. No limit. Remember, this is about getting $250,000, this webinar. They got no limit. They now have 4 to 5 different companies they call us every day that are trying to give them money, and it's a really good problem to have. They're excited. If you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite. Now, these 2 actually have built it up to $1.2 million, and we'll see that coming up. Here's another one. Lenders and credit issuers have a secret unpublished set of approval standards that you must meet to get approved. We call this the automated underwriting system. You guys are all familiar with this. If you've ever applied for a credit card online, one of 2 things happens. You put all your information, you hit submit, spin, spin, spin. You hear the song from Jeopardy in the background, and you get an instant approval. Congratulations. Or you get that dreaded, we'll notify you in 7 to 30 days with our answer or whatever. You know what that is. That's a denial. We all know what that is. Business credit lenders have the same exact type system. It's an automated underwriting system. Now, here's the difference. In the beginning, they're not pulling credit. They have a certain set of criteria that is unpublished that we know, and we know the way through those gates. We're talking about the business credibility, the credibility of your business. Okay? You must meet these to get approved. If you meet these standards, you will get the automated approvals, and it's an amazing feeling, especially when you get your first one. You're approved, $5,000 credit limit. If you don't meet the standards, you'll be denied. Now, how they deny in business credit is they don't say you're denied or well, you'll send you a letter in 7 to 30 days. What they do is they immediately have a pop-up that says, please enter your social security number. What they're saying is, your business isn't approved. Let's see if we can get you personally to be approved, and we'll have you sign for this personally, which is exactly the opposite of what we want to happen. They want to give you the credit. They just don't trust your business yet, so they want to see if you'll sign for it personally, and that way they're protected. Okay? That's how a no operates in the business credit world. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to set up your business credibly before getting credit and financing. We have to make sure you fit this automated underwriting criteria. Otherwise, even the smallest item can have you rejected and you won't know why. They never tell you why. I'll give you a small example. If you're registered with the Secretary of State, and I'm going to use New Jersey because that's where I'm originally from. I'm registered with the Secretary of State of New Jersey, and I registered my business. I started from my home. And the rest of the business, I put down my home address, 123 Main Street. Then my business grew, and I ended up getting a building. So now my website's changed, and I've got my building address and my phone number, but I never changed my business address with the Secretary of State. If I put an application in, I'm going to be immediately rejected. It's not congruent. It doesn't match. That's big important. That's huge. So that's the first thing that we're going to need to do is to get your business set up credibly. All right, to set up you want to set up your entity, preferably a corporation or an LLC. Now, you can build your business credit with a sole proprietor. However, what's the point? you're still personally guaranteeing everything because you are your sole proprietorship. In addition to that, why would you want the risk of that? So you obviously would want to set this up as either an LLC or some type of corporation, C or an S corp, or however you choose to do it. That's your best bet. Again, you can build it as a sole prop. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now, we want to stay away from certain business names that indicate you're a high risk. In the commercial lending world, there are certain businesses that are considered high risk. We know what they are. For example, you don't want to have a business. Gambling is one of them. So you don't want to have Joe's Gambling House LLC. That's a high risk. You're going to be rejected immediately. Okay. A couple other ones. You don't want to put Steve's Investment Company or Steve's Future Trading Incorporated. Anything like that, and there's a list, and we can actually provide that list to you of the things you want to avoid. What we suggest, and what I always say to people is, look, take your ego out of it for a second. Name your company something very vanilla, something like Phoenix Enterprises LLC. If I asked you what Phoenix Enterprises LLC did, you'd have no idea, right? You'd have no idea if they were a big company, small company, if they sold widgets or were business marketers. You'd have no idea. That's the point. We don't want them to pigeonhole you into a certain revenue sect. Okay. If you are in real estate, I'll use that as an example because I was in real estate and my company was called Freedom Real Estate. Actually, I had a bunch of them, but that's one of them. I had 5-star property management. If I'd have put that in, they'd have pigeonholed me as, okay, how much revenue could he possibly be producing? And our goal was to get you as high credit limits as possible. So the best way to do that is to eliminate being pigeonholed right out of the gate. Okay. You can get your free EIN from the IRS. Most people, believe it or not, think they have to pay somebody to get their EIN. They'll go out to, there's a company in Las Vegas, I'm not going to mention them by name. People will pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get their EIN number. You don't have to do that. It's easy, it's simple, and we can help you do that. Okay, so you get your free EIN number, you shouldn't be charged a penny for that. Okay, you need to get the licensing that you need to operate legally. Let's talk about that. If again, New Jersey, to be a hairstylist, or in any state, actually, I believe, you need to have a license. So if you open up a hair salon, you have to be licensed. So you want to make sure your license matches what you've registered with the Secretary of State, what you have at the IRS. Everything needs to match. They will check those items, especially if you're in construction. That's another big deal. Okay. Make sure all your online listings have the same information as to what's on your application. What happens is, in seconds, the automated underwriting system can search your company out. It's amazing what they can find out from you. They can check Google, they can check the Secretary of State website. They actually now, the business credit reporting agencies actually show a photo of your business. They can actually show a photo of your business. If you're working out of your home, I don't know if you're going to want your home being shown on a business credit, because that's public record. That's, anybody has access to that. So you want to make sure all of this matches. All right. And that's the biggest pitfall I see. People, when they first start their small company, almost always want the paperwork mailed to their home. So that's where they register at the Secretary of State and or the IRS. Even worse than that is they'll remember to change it at the Secretary of State and leave it at the IRS. The issue there is that when creditors report on your business credit, they have to tie to your EIN. Only way they can do that, like we talked about earlier, is through your address. So when they go to file that you've paid your bills on time, they go to look for your EIN, and the address you put was 123 Main Street, but the IRS still has 123 Maple because that's where you live. They won't file, they won't report it at all. It's just gone. So even if you got approved, it's never going to report. If it doesn't report, you can't move to the next level. So when setting up your business credibly, we have to check and make sure all of these things are congruent. They all make sense. All right, let's move on to the next thing. This is one of my favorites. Professional email address and website. Do not use Yahoo and Gmail type email, which we all do. You don't want to put a credit application in with Walmart, let's say, or Chase, or whoever, and put your email address as partydude2018 at yahoo.com. probably not going to fly. You want to have something like info@creditsuite.com, info@joesplumbing.com if you happen to have a company named Joe's Plumbing. Again, you don't want to use a Yahoo or a Gmail. Somebody said to me a long time ago, if you have a Yahoo email, you're probably a Yahoo for your business. All right. You also want to have a physical business address. A virtual and home address can also work. This is key. If you learn nothing else tonight, pay attention to this. I hear this all the time. PO boxes, UPS boxes do not work. It's an immediate rejection. The lenders have a list of, it's a certain SIC code. They know immediately you can't fool the system. Now, virtual addresses do work, and here's why. I know it sounds like it's the same thing, but it's not. In the 70s, the virtual address companies got together and they sued and they won. They are now recognized as an actual business address. So when we want to give grades to the type of addresses to get credit, let's go with our old school grades, A, B, C, and F. A for physical address. If you actually have a commercial address, it's your business, it's your building, I can search it and there you are. B is a virtual address. C would be your home address. And then everything else doesn't matter. That's it. That's your three choices if you want to build your business credit. Now, why they're in that order is important. Yes, you can get approved with your home address. Absolutely, we can get approved. You can get approved with virtual, you can get approved with commercial. Here's the difference. We noticed that the lines of credit tend to be smaller for home addresses. And what I'm about to say to you has got to make sense. If you're putting an application in, they're not asking you for your revenue. They're not asking you for financials. They're just making decision about your business's ability to pay based on what they see on the application. So let's look at what the application says. It says, party guy at Yahoo. It says 123 Main Street, which is a home address. It has a cell number, and it has an address that doesn't match what the original address was at the IRS. You're going to get rejected. Now, let's say all that works. Again, home address, you're going to find the credit limits are smaller. They're just going to be smaller. Not significantly, but enough that it can have impact, because what you're going to see is business credit grows, it scales. So if you start off, I take two companies, one's got a virtual address, one's got a home address. They both apply to the same company. They both get approved. One gets approved for $1,500, one gets approved for $2,500 because of the address. Same business, everything's the same. One used a home address, one's a virtual. They move into the next couple of steps. Suddenly you're seeing the one with the virtual getting $15,000 in credit and the one with the home address getting $7,000. What happened? Well, what happens is creditors base you saw it in the reports based on the recommendations. So if the recommendations are lower, everything past that will continue to be lower on scale, an even scale. Okay. So again, ABC, physical business address. If you can have that, that's what you want. Now I want to bring this up because I've had people ask me this question. When they say physical business address, it doesn't mean if your friend owns a 7-Eleven and has a backdoor entrance that you can operate your business out of there and put that down as your address. Doesn't work. Has to be a legit mailing address. It doesn't matter if there's a suite, that's fine, but they have to be able to look that up and see that it's always been that. Or you could have two entrances in the same building, that's fine. You just can't be in the back storeroom, again, of a 7-Eleven, okay? All right, now the business phone number, this is a big deal. This has to be listed with the 411 National Database. Most people think they're listed with 401. It's not what you think. It's the business 401 database. There are creditors who only search that. If you're listed, you're approved. Most people have no idea even how to do that. Typically what happens is that happens organically. You're on Google searches, you're everywhere, and they'll pick it up and you'll be listed. We know the way around that. We actually pay to have you listed right through our system. You put your phone number in, list with 401, and it happens instantly. But it is important that you get listed with 411. Okay, again, you're trying to look like a legitimate large business. Same thing with a toll-free number and a fax number. I know nobody uses faxes anymore. However, if you called IBM today and said, I'd like to fax you something, do you think they'd say, sorry, haven't used a fax in years, could you please scan it and email it to me? Of course not. They're going to give you a fax number. All large businesses have a fax number, even if it's virtual. No one knows that it's virtual. Same thing with the toll-free number. You're not going to call IBM on their 215 number. You're going to call on the 1-800 number. So keep in mind, what we're trying to attempt to do here is to make you look as large as possible, even if you started your business yesterday. All right. All right, let's move on. I'm sure you guys are getting tired of that. Let's talk about business credit reports. First thing we want to do is we want to get set up with the business reporting agencies by first seeing if you have a profile established with them. Okay. You're going to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet, and you're going to fix inaccuracies and derogatory items. Let's talk about that. Okay. Fixing bad credit, personal credit, it's a little difficult. You have all these companies that are saying they can fix your personal credit. Business credit is significantly easier. And the reason it is there aren't people that are monitoring that inside companies. I report your company as late to DUNS. You dispute that, the odds of me replying to that are about 0. So even if you have inaccuracies or a negative on your business report, you can dispute that very simply and have it removed. So don't panic if you've had business credit in the past and it's gone bad. We can help you fix that. All right. So once we've done that, we've looked at once you've gotten started, we've helped you with your credibility. We've made sure you're going to run through the automated underwriting system. We're now pulling your business credit report. We're making sure you're registered with DUNS and Experian. And we're going to pull your reports, take a look, make sure there's no inaccuracies, including address. You'd be surprised how many times, again, back to the not registering, changing your address with the IRS, where they'll have an address that's wrong. And then we're going to help you fix your derogatory items. The next thing you want to do is start getting initial credit. Now, when I talk about getting initial credit, you're not going to start off with, hey, congratulations, you just received a no-limit American Express card. Doesn't happen in the real world. Just like with your consumer credit, you can't get credit unless you have initial business credit profile, and you have to have some scores established. There are actually 3 ways you can get initial trade lines added to your business reports. First one is to pay $1,500 to $2,000 for D&B's credit builder. Here's the problem with that, and a lot of people have done it. They're the best salespeople in the world, I have to tell you. When you call D&B to get your DUNS number, you are on a list and you will be hammered. These guys are like boiler room good. They're going to call you and convince you you're never going to succeed. Your business will be out of business if you don't give them $1,500 to $2,000 to build your D&B credit report. Only issue with that is it only builds your D&B credit report. Nothing about Experian or Equifax. The second thing is most of the trade lines you send to them won't report. They may put it on one time. That's it. One payment experience. 3 months later, it shows as inactive and it's done. You just wasted $2,000. That's not really building your business credit. That's just paying somebody to throw a couple of lines of credit on your report and then moving on. To a company, anybody I talk to that decides to do that ends up coming back to us and saying, nah, I screwed up. That was a waste of $2,000. And I always feel bad for them. But that's what happens. So be careful. If you do register with D&B and they start calling you, just say no, thank you. They are required to give you that D&B number. Okay, by law, they have to give it to you without charging you. Okay, step 3. The second thing you do to get initial credit is if you have good personal credit now, you can actually secure up to $150,000 in unsecured, no doc, 0% financing for your business, even as a startup. This is a big deal. Now, I don't recommend this for people unless they need money today. Or they, for whatever reason, they have a big project, they need to finance it, they can't wait to build their business credit. Again, building business credit is a process. They need money today. We have a program where you can do just that. This comes in the form of 5 business cards, actually sometimes even more, with cash out capability that report to the business reporting agencies, but they do require a personal guarantee. Now, these, again, report on the business reporting agencies, not on your personal. You personally guarantee them, so if you go bad, you are responsible. So you want to be careful. If this is something you're interested in doing, we can talk about that later and I'll show you. But if you're in a high-risk situation where you're not sure, it's just you just want to be very careful with this. What I find people will do this, they'll get these cards, again, up to $150. I just funded somebody's $89,000 today in the last 24 hours. I asked him what he was going to do. He said, first thing I'm going to do is start building my business credit, build it up, pay these cards off, get rid of them, and now I've got it. He just wanted to add those 5 trade lines to his business credit report quickly and high limit. Keep in mind, back to what we talked about earlier, creditors will follow what's recommended on the business credit reporting agencies. If your first lines of credit are $20,000 each, guess what you're going to be recommended for? It won't be $1,000, I promise you that. It's going to be significantly higher. Okay? All right, let's talk about how these accounts will give you 5 trade lines with high limits. Let me show you an example. This is a startup in Bloomington, Illinois. Their credit limit was $135,000 or $13,500. I'm sorry, on this one it was $12,000. On this one it was $13,000. They actually ended up with $61,400 in unsecured business credit lines. This helped them achieve their particular goals at that time, and it actually helped build their business credit. All right. Now, you don't need to have great credit. I know we were talking about great credit. You don't need to have great credit. How we can get you started without having great credit, you can have the absolute worst credit in the world. You could have never paid a bill in your life, kind of like my kids. And you can get initial business credit with starter vendors. They're going to give you credit even if you have no credit, no score, no trade lines, no anything. As long as you fit into that box that we talked about and your business is set up credibly, you're going to be able to get credit from these vendors. Now, vendors usually offer net 30 terms, which we talked about earlier. Okay, again, you'll buy a product from them. They'll approve you. They'll ship you the product. You'll get the bill. You'll pay it within 30 days. Now, how your scores work, especially with D&B, a Paydex score, an 80 is good pay, is perfect pay. Anything above 80 means you're paying inside less than what the terms were. In other words, net 30 you pay it in 15 days. Net 30 you pay it in 10 days. That's how you get your scores up in the 90s and the hundreds. All right. You'll need to find vendors, though, here's the issue, that actually do report and who will approve you with no prior credit. These are very, very, very difficult to find. When I had my printing company, I had, anybody who knows anything about printing, I had I had vendor credit with paper companies, with film companies, with ink companies, with string for binding, with box companies. You name it, I had credit with all of them, net 30 terms, net 10 terms. None of them reported, unfortunately. So here I was doing, let's say, 15 million in purchases and building nothing out of it. So it's important not just to have these vendors, but you have to make sure they actually report. Once you get 5 of those, you can actually start getting into revolving store credit. All right, so we're going to show you how to get 5 vendor creditors who will actually report. Once you have 5 of those accounts reporting, and that can be reporting if, let's say, they report to D&B and Experian, or 2 of them report to D&B and Experian, and 3 of them only report to D&B. So you're going to have 7 actual payment experiences. Be 5 trade lines or 5 vendors, but 7 trade payment experiences. You've got 2 each, D&B and Experian, for 2 separate accounts. So that's actually 4 payment experiences. That's a big deal. Remember that. Okay. So once we have 5 of those recorded, we're going to move you into the store credit. Now, some of the starter vendors that I'm talking about are going to be Quill, Uline. I'm sure you've heard of some of these. Wells Fargo gives you a secured card. If you have a bank account with them, they actually, believe it or not, they actually report on your business credit, not your personal. With 5 reported accounts, you can start to get revolving accounts with limits 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit without a personal guarantee. And that's really the point of what we're talking about here today. This is going to help you grow your business, and you're not tied to it personally. God forbid we have a monster downturn and your business takes a hit. Maybe it doesn't go out of business, but maybe you have a difficult time paying your credit for the business. You work something out, it doesn't affect your personal credit. You continue to stay in business. You can continue to grow when the market changes. That was the mistake I made. I didn't do that. All right. Again, without a personal guarantee. Now, the revolving credit we're talking about includes store credit cards with most major retailers, as well as fleet credit. If you're unfamiliar with what fleet credit is, fleet credit cards are credit cards that you use for gas and auto repairs. I don't know one business, maybe one, internet-based businesses. Other than that, any other business uses gas. You get in the car, you drive somewhere, sales meeting, pick up products, make deliveries. So a gas credit card is a big deal for most businesses. Okay, we're going to show you how to get those. Now, Christine, let's talk about Christine. She started with our company a little over a year ago, and she started with no revenues, Nothing, brand new business, okay? Here's what she got approved for. Actually, it's been just over a year. Here's what she got approved for, $2,000 with Sprint. $4,500 with Amazon. Watch what's happening here. $5,000 with Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply. I know who they are. You may not know who they are. I used to have a 10-acre horse farm in New Jersey, so I know what they do. Exxon, $5,000. Fuel Man Fleet, again, another fleet card, $6,000. BJ's, $7,000. Keep in mind, these are all credit that's tied to her EIN, not her Social Security number. Had nothing to do with her Social Security number. How about BP for $8,000? So now if you look, just in fuel, she's got $8,000, $6,000, $5,000, $19,000 just for fuel. How about Lowe's for $10,000? Anybody who flips houses knows how important that would be. She needs a new computer. How about Apple for $12,500? Matter of fact, you know what? $19,000 wasn't enough credit. Let's get her another $15,000 with Shell. Now, are you seeing a pattern here? She started off with $2,000 with Sprint. Amazon doubled that. Tractor Supply chased Amazon with $5,000. Exxon matched it. Fuel Man Fleet threw up $6,000. BJ's threw up $7,000. What these creditors are doing is they know, let's say she's up to Fuel Man Fleet and she applies for BJ's. Or no, better yet, BP. All right. So she's got $6,000 with Fuel Man Fleet. She applies to BP. BP sees what's reporting and says, you know, let's give her $500. You think she's ever going to use that card? Of course not. They know that. They have to match or exceed if they want her to use their credit. And they obviously do because they want her to buy their products. So then Shell stepped up and said, no. How about us at $15,000? Now, Shell's only here twice. I apologize. That was my mistake. Office Depot, $15,000. Again, see what's happening here? They're chasing each other. You can see she's been recommended for higher and higher trade lines. It's an amazing, to watch this happen is amazing, and it will happen for you. How about Costco? $20,000 in credit. Oh, Sears, I skipped over Sears. Sears, $15,000. Costco, $20,000. See what's happening? It's getting larger and larger. How about Best Buy for $40,000? How about Dell for $40,000? Again, nobody needs $40,000 in computers as an individual, but I guarantee you, I know in our office, we have well over $40,000 in computers. So Dell's going to issue that type of credit. Roofs Plus, a roofing company, and construction company, $75,000. Ford, $40,000. I mean, the numbers just get, and this is my favorite. How about PNC Visa, $100,000. Pilot Flying J, $200,000. These are all these approvals require no consumer credit check at all or personal guarantee. Now, let me tell you about Pilot Flying J. I had a gentleman I spoke to about 2.5 months ago. He had a small one-man firm trucking company, and his issue is he's getting offers to do more and more work, but he can't afford to do it because he can't pay for the fuel, because he has to bill these people after it's delivered and then he gets paid. So now he's got to front the fuel, and this is cross-country trucking. You can imagine how much fuel that is. So showed him how to get started, showed him how to set up his business credibly. 2.5 months into it, he calls me, says, Steve, I just got approved for $50,000 with Pilot Flying J. $50,000. How do you think that's changed his life? Not signed for personally. $50,000 in fuel and repairs that he has, that if he gets a long haul from, let's say, New York to California, and it costs him $3,000 in fuel or whatever the number is, he's not fronting that anymore. Now, on the flip side, I talked to another potential client, and he said, well, I don't really like credit. I don't believe in credit. I can appreciate that. Anybody who's ever lost everything really doesn't want credit anymore. And he happened to be in that situation. So I said, what do you mean by you don't want? Well, I don't believe in credit. I'd rather pay cash for everything. I said, okay, what do you do? And he told me what he did. He's a custom mill worker. He works on homes out in it's in Montana, big resort. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it's the playground for millionaires and billionaires. Jackson Hole. He custom mill works for these millionaire and billionaires' homes. His average job is $40,000 to $60,000, and that's for small work. I said, oh, you don't believe in credit? He goes, no. I said, how do they pay you? Well, they give me a deposit. Outstanding. They give you a deposit. So you get to pay for your material out of their money. Yes, that's wonderful. When do you get the rest? Well, when I'm done and they're happy with the job, they pay me. Okay, how long does your job take? The job can take anywhere from 10 days to 6 weeks. So he's giving millionaire and billionaires 45-day terms. Once he realized that, he went, oh, geez, he's financing them through his labor. If he had to pay somebody else, right, he's now financing them truly with cash. So business credit is that important. And look what she did in just a little over a year. All right, sorry, I got off on a tangent there, guys. I tend to do that. That's the Philadelphia in me coming out. Okay, so with 10 reporting accounts, you can start to actually get revolving cash credit cards, and I know that's what we all want to talk about. With limits, again, 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit and auto vehicle financing without a personal guarantee. Everybody eventually buys a new car. Wouldn't it be great if you could buy your next car in the business name and you don't have to sign for it personally? What's that going to do for your credit score? You don't have that $500 payment, $600 payment in your name. It's in the business name. Now, your debt to income ratio is much lower. And by the way, I'm going to be giving out our website, our email address, and our phone number soon. Okay. Let me just get through this. If I'm speaking too fast, please somebody say, slow down, Steve. I just tend to be like a runaway horse. All right. Here's an example of a Visa business credit card that's been approved, $12,000. How about Flagstar for $10,000? How about this one was $22,000? This one was. These are all people who have sent these into us. Okay, they sent these to us, and we verify everything. We don't just take people's word for it. We verify everything. What we do, because it's free information, it's public information, we check their business credit report. We see if they truly do have those limits, and they do. We won't publish anything unless we've verified it at least twice. Here's an example, $22,000, Chase Visa, Chase Business. This one's $10,000 with $500 ATM withdrawals. The next one is $8,000. That's Chase Inc. Here's one for $7,000. You can see there's just tons and tons of them. Here's one with $50,000 with a $10,000 cash advance limit. $50,000 in the business name, no personal signature. Let's see. Do we have any? There's $10,000 again. Here's $24,000 with a cash advance limit of $4,800. Here's one with $50,000 cash limit, $10,000. Now let's talk about Marlon McKinney. Love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. He took this to another level. He's the, see, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I'm going to say he's the Nick Foles of credit building, at least this week. This man started off with nothing, okay? He was looking for a fast way to get money to grow his consumer credit business. And after failing to get approved for our loans with several banks, he discovered us. And he went through our system. He started with the vendor accounts. He continued, and I said this in the beginning, getting business credit and building business credit is a journey, not a destination. It should never end. All right. So he went through the initial vendor accounts. He continued applying, getting all types of credit. He now has over 100 business credit cards, totaling over $1 million. And by the way, that's up to $1.2 million in total available credit. That's amazing. He's got fleet cards, he's got cash credit cards at almost every major bank. And none of this was with a personal credit check and no personal guarantee. PayPal, over $100,000 each. You can see none of this was done with a personal. They're all saying the same thing. Everyone that's listening to me right now can accomplish this very thing. Now, again, he took it to another level, and I'm sure the federal DFT or whatever would say that I have to disclose that not all results are going to be similar, blah, 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 but it can be done. There's nothing special about Marlon except he was obsessed and he wanted to do it, and he accomplished it. All right, so how you're going to easily get business credit and financing all in one place. This is where, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to show you how it works. Since obviously you can't talk to me, I'm going to assume you're all saying, yes, Steve, you're so wonderful. Please show us. All right, so I'm going to take this over here, open it up, and show you. This is our finance suite. Okay, now I'm going to start at the top. When you log in, you're going to see Business Credit Builder. Enter. Now, there's a lot of tabs on the left. Don't pay attention to them right now. We'll talk about them in a little bit. The first thing you're going to do if you're in our system is we're going to talk about business credibility, which we've all talked about already. Let me open that up and show you what I mean. Now, this is the beauty of this program. Let's talk about business names. Remember I talked about names that you don't want to use, industries you don't want to use? Do you have a business name? Let's say no, we don't. We're starting our business today. We have no idea what we're going to name our company. We don't even know what type of company, but we know we want to be in business. We want to sell widgets because we just invented the greatest widget ever. No, learn more. What's going to happen is you're going to get a couple of videos that pop up. This one's 3 minutes and 56 seconds long. This one's 48 seconds. It's going to describe why it's important, how you pick your business name, and how it relates to getting credit. Now, I talked to you about restricted industries. I'm going to pop this up. Up top, you're going to see ammunition or weapons, bail bonds, check cashing agencies, energy, finance, gaming or gambling activities, loans for speculative purchases, pawn shops, X-rated products. These are all industries that will get you automatically rejected. In addition, if you want to search your Secretary of State records, we have a link right here. No matter what state you're in, we can take you to that state. You can search the name of the company that you're thinking about. Again, don't forget Phoenix Enterprises. If you want to call it Weibel Enterprises, go for it. But you want to stay away from pigeonholing your company. All right, let's go back and talk about step 2, your business address. This is what's great about this program. It's intuitive, it's interactive. Do you have a business address? No. Learn more. Again, you're going to see a small, short video, 1 minute and 16 seconds long, about how to get the right business address. You can see right here, do not use a P.O. box for your business address. Many lenders see this as a higher risk. Actually, all of them do. You might slip by once or twice, but you're actually setting up a roadblock for yourself. Okay, and you're actually going to get resources in how you can set up a business address. Let's go to business phone and 411 listing. My internet seems to be slow tonight, kind of like the Patriots defense. All right, so do you have a business phone number? No, you don't. This is going to talk about what we talked about listing your business with 411. Let's say you do have a business phone number. Put your business phone number here, your toll-free number, which you're going to want your fax, and then do we want to submit to National 411? I told you, right in our system, we're going to take care of that. As a matter of fact, this is a great time to talk about this. Here's what's great about our system. Not only is it in English, down on the bottom right, you're going to see next to the help, which, by the way, if you click the help button, tonight it'll be a robot. But during business hours, somebody's there to answer your questions anytime. All right. But let's say you speak Spanish, or you're much more comfortable reading Spanish. You can click it from English to Spanish with one click of a button. I'm not going to do it here because it's off the screen. The entire website goes Spanish. By the way, our website is www.creditsuite.com. However, don't go boogie in there yet because I'm going to show you a link to it that you're going to want to check out later. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want, we talked about the website, the email, and getting your EIN. Here you go. I talked about helping you get your EIN number. Do you have an EIN number? We're going to show you how to do that. You just click here to set up your EIN number. And let's go to business reports, establish business reports. Now, to establish a business report, you're going to have to be registered with Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax, or Experian, excuse me. Let's click right on Dun & Bradstreet. No, I don't have a Dun & Bradstreet number. No, learn more. Set up Duns. There's a click right here. I'll show you where it goes. Takes you right to D&B's website. Now, here's what's great. Free, what you get, they're trying to sell you. Almost immediately, they're trying to sell you. All you want is the DUNS number. You just want to get your free, and it's a free. You can see free DUNS number services. That's it, okay? Don't let them sell you anything. You don't need it. It's a waste of money. Take your family out on a cruise before you buy anything. So once you've set up with everyone, then you're going to want to monitor your business credit, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's go into building your business credit round 1. You're going to love this. It's point and click. All right. So in this case, I'm going to show you a couple. These are early credit. You've got Strategic Network Solutions, Quill. We talked about them. Harbor Express, Wells Fargo, Design, Pilot Flying J, believe it or not. DigiK, Global Voice Direct. Let me tell you about Global Voice Direct. All right, if you run it through our system, you're going to be able to get a virtual phone number there. Virtual phone number. It's going to cost you anywhere between $24 and $48 a month. Now that will be an 800 number. That's going to include a fax number. It's a virtual phone number. We'll forward to your cell phone. It'd be great for credit applications. What's amazing about them is they're the one and only that we're aware of, and we research our vendors for months and months and months. One, to make sure their underwriting criteria are what they say they are, and two, to make sure they actually report this the way they say they're going to report. So if we've known about these guys for a long time, we just finally added them to our system. All you need to be approved with them is an EIN number. That's it. So all you got to be approved with them. They're going to give you credit. Here's the best part: $24 a month or $48 a month. They're their two most popular programs. I think $24 you're going to get a business line, a local number, and you're going to get a fax number, an e-fax. And they report on the business credit reporting agencies to both D&B and Experian as a $7,500 credit. So you're right out of the chute, you're showing $7,500 in credit from somebody that's basically billing you $24 to $48 a month. Now, remember, we talked about creditors tend to chase you. They tend to chase each other, excuse me. So that's what's going to happen. All right, so we've kind of showed you a little bit about that. Let me show you a couple other things. The reporting, credit reporting. Let me pull this up. Bear with me 1 second. I'm not the most nimble guy on the computer, but I think I can handle this. Okay, there we go. All right, so if you log into your system, you're going to see business credit report monitoring. You're going to click on view reports, which I've already opened up here. Now, this is for Pixar. We all know who Pixar is, right? Big company, lots of money. This is actually their credit report from both Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. Now, let me explain what you're seeing here. You're going to love this. They are a 34 medium risk, all right? Their days beyond terms, currently they're 10 days. They average 22 days, and the highest they've been is 28 days, okay? They're 33% more likely to have a severe delinquency than other businesses, all right? And this gives all their information, the factors that are influencing their score, where they're at, how many active payment trade lines, how many total payment trade lines. So they have 28, but 13 that are active. Their balance of all their trade lines, their highest 6-month balance, their lowest 6 months, and the whole deal. Bankruptcy filing, you can see, this is Pixar, right? Tax liens, I mean, it's all there, okay? You can also pull up their accounts. There's 28 accounts. I could go through every one of these. Obviously, you don't want to sit and look at all of that. Public filings. It's going to show 4 public filings with the Secretary of State of California. The Screen Actors Build. I think that's supposed to be Guild. Let's see, Screen Actors. No, it is Build. Okay. And somebody filed for a tax lien. Then it also gives you alerts. Right now, there's no alerts since the last pull. That's because we pull this constantly. So that's how you're going to read your Experian report. Now, Dun & Bradstreet, right next to it. Click on that. They're a 55 paid X. Okay, not terrible, not great, not terrible. They have 54 accounts reporting, and you can see high credit 65,000, balance 35,000, day reported 12.1. And I can go all the way down the line. This is going to be exactly what you're going to see for your business. Okay, again, Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. Now, you can get Equifax as well, but I have to tell you, Experian and Dun & Bradstreet is where you're going to find the majority of creditors report. There is Equifax, but very few report to them. So if you want to monitor it, that's fine. But these are the two you really want to pay attention to. All major creditors are going to report to these two. If they report to the business credit reporting agencies, these are the two they're going to report to. Now, what's really cool about this is integrated in our system. If you were going to do this through Dun & Bradstreet and Experian directly, you contact, and I'll show it to you in a little bit. You contact D&B and you say, I want to monitor my business credit. They say, that's outstanding. $159 a month, thank you very much. And then Experian is going to want $50 a month. That's $210 a month. $2,400, $2,500 a year just to monitor your business credit, just to check it out to make sure everything that you're doing is working. Through our NAV integration system, we actually have that down to $24 a month. So 240 plus 48, $288 a year versus $2,100 a year. So you're going to save roughly $1,800 per year just by monitoring your business credit through our site. Okay, keep that in mind later. All right, now let's talk about. I'm going to have to move. I told you guys I'm a little slow. Let's go back over here, and I'm going to show you some of the things that happen on the left-hand side. All right. Over here, you're going to see a link that says Partner Resources. Now, in the beginning, I told you that I oversee one of the largest business credit partnerships in the country. We actually have partners out there. I'm sure we have some in your area as well that are actually selling our system and teaching people how to build their business credit. If you're a partner, you have access to the information I'm about to show you. For example, we give weekly coaching webinars. We have full partner training. We teach our partners how to do this. They get the exact same training, as a matter of fact, that I received. Now, I'm not that good, but I'm pretty good. And they get the exact same training. When I say I'm not that good, I mean compared to Ty, everybody else is third to me. They're also going to get sales rep training, sales rep resources. But let me show you our resource library. This is a big deal. If you decide that you'd be interested in helping people build their business credit as a business, and we'll get back to everything else for those of you who aren't. I just want to give you an idea of how complete this program is. Let's say we're going to go take a look at a marketing flyer. This is all in here. Get business credit and loans. There's a great example. Let's click that on. You're going to have full color brochures. You can just fill in your company name, email address, your name, your phone number, however you want to put it. Your website, doesn't matter, that you can send over to Vistaprint, print 50 of these. And it's all pretty much done for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, that's out of our partner resources. You're going to see client dashboard. If you end up selling a client, adding somebody into our system, and I'll show you how we're going to do that, and they call you and you want to search them, it's all right here. You just put their name in up here to the right. It'll pull their information up. You'll be able to click that on. This is the test. Of course, it's hopefully it'll load. There you go. And you'll know everything that's happened with that particular person. Have they established their business credit? Where they are in each round? Do they have a revolving accounts yet? Are they approved for financing right now? How much do they want? Everything in here, their passwords, where they are, when's the last time they were contacted, that's all in here. Now, let's say you want to add a client. And I can get lost doing this because I specialize with the partner. So if I am losing you, please tell me to slow down. Real simple. You add in the client's name, first and last, their phone number, their email address, select the state they are in so we know what time zone they're in. Add client, boom. Next thing you know, our advisors are contacting them. Matter of fact, we're calling them 5 times in the first 5 days, which we're going to do for you as well. All right, let's go back to the report dashboard. Oh, I want to show you something really cool. Business valuation. You can see that down here. Business valuation. Now, I'm going to show you how you can find out what your business is worth for free. Bear with me 1 second. It is over here. No, it's over here. I've lost it. Isn't that wonderful? It's here. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Actually, I think it's gone. That's the story of my life. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I know it's here. I am so sorry about this, guys. Here we go. All right, back over here. Let's go to business valuation. This is really cool. You guys are going to dig this. All right, you want to know how much your business is worth? No problem. Use our free business valuation, and let's try one out. All right, enter a business name. I'm going to go with Stephen Weibel Enterprises. All right, zip code. Let's go to my old hometown, 19125. And let's say industry. I'll talk about printing. All right, let's go. Continue. Now watch this. All right, I'm going to skip over all the business basics. Okay, I'm going to go right into income. Let's say your business is doing $500,000 a year in sales. And your pre-tax income is 20%, so $100,000. And officer compensation is another $75,000, and we'll blow off all the rest of that. We have our assets. Now you see the number creeping up here. I'm already up to 364. Liabilities, let's say you have accounts payable of, $25,000, and you have bank loans of another $50,000. Now, obviously, I'm not filling in everything, but you see what's happening in that number? This business is worth $289,788. This would cost you about $1,000 to find out. Now, there's more information you'd have to fill in, and you guys obviously don't want to sit through that, but this is unbelievable. This alone is worth the price of admission. Now, speaking of admission, anybody who's trying to get out of here, I see a question being asked, what special offer? I want you to go to www.creditsuite.com/webinar1, and I'll show you that right now. Webinar special. Here we go. Okay. Now, there's usually a countdown on here, and I apologize that didn't happen. Again, Ty had an emergency, had to run out. Everything wasn't set up properly for me. I didn't have access, so I did my best. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our program, which is normally $29.97. We're going to drop it down $500. We're going to, if you do a one-time payer, we're going to lower the payments from $597 a month to $497 a month for 7 months. Okay, we'll get back to that, but I can see some of you have to go, and you want to know what the special is. All right, let's get back to the presentation, guys. All right. So I just showed you that. Let's move on. Let's talk about an OBGYN in North Carolina. This is someone who went into our system and needed help tremendously. But I'll tell you what, I need help with my internet. There we go. This is Dr. Brannon. Dr. Brannon originally approached us to get $417,000 to pay off a tax lien. Right, that's all he needed, and he was in the process of closing his practice. He gave us permission to talk about this. With credit issues and no collateral, everybody had already turned him down. Through multiple rounds of funding with us, he was able actually to get the money not only to pay off the IRS, he actually expanded his practice. He even made a run for public office. And so far to date, he's secured over $1.5 million in funding through unsecured financing, revenue loans, private investment loans, anything that we could find for him, and everything that we could find for him, we threw it at him. We wanted to save his business, and it worked. That's a tremendous situation. He was ecstatic. That's why he allowed us to share this information with you. This is the ultimate solution for you. You're watching this webinar on your computer, your phone, your tablet, whatever. You're watching it because you wanted to find the easiest and fastest way to get money for your business so that you can grow your business, obviously. You need the credit. You're all aware of that. That's why you're here. You've probably already tried, and you haven't really found a simple solution. Look, we're all about speed. And again, building business credit is a process. It is a journey, but it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. You can do this quickly and then just continue once you've hit your goal and just go blow past it. That's what we're going to help you do. Our finance suite is perfect for you. Perfect for you. You're going to get business credit, or you're going to get business credit for your business, not lend your social security number, which we already talked about, through the top selling business credit system in the world. You're going to get access to funding for your business to either start it or grow it. As I tried to show you, we do it in both English and Spanish. Our advisors are Spanish and English. The entire program is set up in both English and Spanish with the click of a button. It's easy access. So if you have a family member, maybe you'd be thinking about that could use this and they speak only Spanish, don't let that hold them back. Now, another reason our finance suite would be perfect for you is our cutting edge technology helps meet your credibility requirements before you apply. This is a big deal. This is why we're able to compress 7 years into 5 or 6 months. We're not letting you apply for anything until we know you're set up properly, so you're set up credibly. We're going to run you through our system and verify that everything makes sense. We know the criteria. We're not going to let you fail. This is a paint by numbers, point and click system that works every time. Not sometimes, not most of the time, every single time. If you put in the effort, you will see unbelievable results. I know I get overly excited, so if I'm blowing your ears out, I apologize. We're going to make sure you set up your business name correctly to avoid being high risk. We talked about that. I showed you the list, and I can actually email you that list if you need it. We're going to set up your business, help you set up your business entity and your EIN the right way. We're going to make sure it's set up credibly. We're going to help you set up your phone and get a free 411 listing roughly valued at $360. Help you set up your website and your email address. Again, no party dude at Yahoo. We're going to check your licensing and online listings. We're going to verify everything is correct for compliance. It's all going to be congruent. And if necessary, we're going to help you set up your bank and merchant account as well. This is important. I didn't talk about that, but it is a big deal. Everybody worries about, let's say they get a virtual office. Now, your bank statements are going to have your address on them. Most people use their home address. Let's be honest. When's the last time you got mailed a statement from the bank? We all go online and we check our statements. You're going to want that address to match. It may not be important for the first few steps, but eventually you're going to run into a situation where you're cash flowing, you've got lots of trade lines reporting, and you're going to want to apply for an unsecured line of credit of, let's say, $250,000. They're going to ask for some bank statements to prove your revenues, if not tax returns. Well, the first red flag is going to be your bank statement's going to say, again, 123 Elm Street, and your business is at 123 Main Street because you never changed it. You're going to want to make sure that you change that. In addition, they can actually search that information. So make sure you change it. If you're worried about your bank statements being mailed to a virtual office, don't worry about it. All they do is forward the mail to you. But again, we all check our statements online. I have a business that's been in business for 14 years. I've never received a bank statement ever in the mail. Everything's online. Okay, so we're going to help you set that up the right way. All right, another reason why our finance suite is going to be perfect for you. We're going to help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies. You're going to get access to discounted credit reports and get your free DUNS number and credit profile activation. We talked about that, how we're going to show you how to monitor your credit reports for literally $1,800 less per year to keep an eye on your credit. And if you're not monitoring your business credit right now, if you have business credit and you're not monitoring it, you're doing yourself a disservice. How do you know what's out there? You should always be checking on that. Again, we talked about your competitors for checking on you. I know if I was bidding on a big job, if I was a contractor, I was bidding on a big job, I would go check the business credit of my competitor that was competing with me. And I'd use that information. I would absolutely use that information to beat him or her. We're going to help you dispute and fix credit inaccuracies with all 3 reporting agencies. Again, that's a big deal. You don't know what's reporting. Once you check, you may find there is an inaccuracy. It may just be they have an address that's 10 years old, but that can stop you from getting credit. Another reason why our finance suite is perfect for you. We have the absolute largest supply of starter vendors, including exclusive sources to start your business credit with all 3 reporting agencies. Again, we talked about this. It's easy to get vendor credit. It's hard to find the ones that are actually going to report. And it's even harder to know what their underwriting criteria are. We know. Not only do we know, and I'll pull this back up and show it to you during the question and answer period. When you saw those vendors and it says apply now, there was actually a more info button. I clicked that more info button. It's going to show you exactly what their underwriting criteria are. That's a big deal. You already know before you apply exactly what they're looking for. Okay. We have a massive selection of revolving store credit with all the underwriting guidelines. Again, you want to apply to Walmart? I mean, wouldn't that be great in the consumer world if it worked that way in the consumer world? You know, I'm thinking about applying for a Walmart card. Oh, we have to have A, B, C, D, and E. Oh, great. That's all I need to know and apply. Well, we know that information. We know exactly what their underwriting guidelines are. We know exactly how many trade lines you're going to need reporting. We know exactly when you should apply and how you're going to get and when you're going to get approved. When you work with us, the days of denial are over. All right. So we're going to help you with that. And there's tons and tons and tons. This is one of my favorite lines I hear from people. What am I going to do with a Walmart card? Well, not only are they the largest retailer in the world, and you can't throw a stone without hitting one, but I don't know about you. I try not to go to Walmart. I always end up there anyway, and they sell everything. They sell tires for your car that you bought with your auto financing. They sell paint if you're repairing houses. They sell office supplies. There's nothing you can't get from Walmart. And if they don't have it in the store, guess where they do have it? Online. Okay, so people, when they say, oh, what am I doing with a Walmart card? Look, I go food shopping there once in a while. I'm going to use it. So there's always going to be something that you can use for your business. And keep in mind, everything you spend on your business credit is money you're not spending in actual cash out of your business coffers. You're keeping your cash in your pocket so that you can grow your business. That's the real big thing. And again, that's what Walmart's so great at. They don't use their money to put products on their shelves. They use somebody else's money. They have business credit. They don't pay for those products. There's no COD with Walmart. As a matter of fact, they actually, and I know this for a fact because I actually went down to sell them when I had my printing company, they actually have a vendor waiting room. You sit in this vendor waiting room waiting for an opportunity, if they're going to give you one, to come talk to a purchasing agent. They really get it. They know how it works. All right, back to this. Hard to find cash and credit sources. We have that. The fleet credit, the auto vehicle financing. It's very, very difficult to get auto vehicle financing in the business name only, unless you are a big company with lots of cash flow. We are going to get you there in under 6 months. Sometimes faster, depending on if you have anybody reporting now, but you're absolutely going to get vehicle financing if you're interested. All of this, by the way, again, I keep saying this over and over again, no personal credit check. None whatsoever, no personal guarantees. Another reason, cash flow financing options with no consumer credit requirements. What I mean by that, cash flow. If you have revenue over a certain amount and you're in at least 1 year in business and you need cash right now, we have options for you. We actually have a program where they don't run any credit check. They don't care. They're going to lend you a certain percentage. They're going to give you money. This is great if somebody has a payroll issue. They have a big check coming in. It's not going to be until the 30th and payroll's due on the 15th, and they need money now. This is a great option. We actually have this in our system, and I'll show you that. We'll get to that in a second. Again, through the question and answer period, I'm actually going to show you a little bit more. We have asset-based financing with rates as low as 2%. We have the unsecured, which we talked about, up to $150,000. We have private money, alternative SBA, venture capital, term loans, lines of credit. You know what? If you need money, I'm sure we know where to get it for you. And we do this as a service for our clients. We not only want to build their business credit, we want to get them even more and more money. You know, getting 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, $150,000 is great. We have clients that need $1 million. We know how to get that for them. Again, we're back to it's a process. And if you do it the right way, you'll never have to sign for anything again personally. We have, oh, by the way, we have term loans and lines of credit, some available with absolutely zero credit check now. The other thing we have is our partner program, which I started to talk about, where you can actually offer business credit and financing and actually get paid. You get extensive training, as much training as I received, just probably not at the speed that I talk, thank God. You're going to get all the contracts you need to do this. You're going to get the scripts to be able to sell our product. We're going to teach you how to sell it the right way the first time. Let's see, we're going to give you seminar detail. We're going to actually show you how to put on a seminar, give you an 8-page website, 3 press releases. I mean, this list goes on and on and on. There's so much. There's ebooks, there's PowerPoint presentations. There's 12 months of drip email campaigns. There's 12 months of social media posts already done. You just click and copy and paste and boom, you're on your way. I think we have over 15 videos in our system. Again, 10 webinars. This is, again, for our partner program. If you're interested in making a lot of money with business credit, we can show you how. Our program, I showed you, I gave you a little taste, generally retails for $29.97. We're discounting it for our webinar attendees. If you're a partner, you can actually keep roughly $200 to $2,500 of that $3,000 in your pocket, and you get paid first. With our partner program, you can offer business credit, by the way. As part of our executive program, you can walk into mom and pop pizza shop, offer them business financing. We can get them, if we can get them financed, you get paid the commission on that. You don't have to be licensed for this. We handle everything. You don't have to know every in and out of every loan. You just have to understand what they need, put them into our system. Our finance officers will call as if they work for you, interview your client, get them submitted, get them written up. If they get approved, obviously let you know right away. They get funded. The bank, the lender, whoever the lender is, could be hundreds of them, sends a commission. You get your piece, and it's a big piece. And we'll talk about that. You can call me directly tomorrow if you'd like to talk more about that, 727-258-5705. That's my direct number, 727-258-5705. Okay, with our partner program, you're going to get 10 articles, you're going to get Spanish marketing, you're going to get finance trading. You're going to get finance videos. You're going to get finance flyers. I showed you one of them. You're going to get, I think there's 6 flyers for financing. There's a Jumpstart program. That's where I'm going to help you. Your sales rep, again, we're going to help you. Client dashboard, which I showed you. Now I'm speeding through this because I know not everybody's interested in the partner program. And again, you're going to get direct funding. Now, in addition to being a partner, you're actually going to build your business credit as well. It's not like it's a one or the other. It's actually included with our partnership program. We're going to take you through all the steps, build your business credit so that you're getting cash and credit without signing for it personally. Who better to sell it than somebody who's actually done it and loves it? It's the reason I'm here. It's the reason I begged them to hire me. I saw what it did for me. It literally can change your life. All right. Now, let's talk about how you're going to get started if this is something you're interested in. As part of this webinar, you're going to get a big discount and you're going to get some bonuses. Okay? Our top plan with payments retails for about $7,176. This special discount is only valid for this webinar. You're going to get started now with one of 2 options. First option is going to be with our core program. Okay? Our core program is the core of our business. That's why we call it our core program. You're going to be able to get involved with our core program for 7 payments of $497. Normally they're $597. Now, when we talk about 7 payments, I'm not talking about make 7 payments and then you get access. You get complete access day one. Day one. And it's amazing what happens. People are always blown away. You sign up. Let's say you sign up tonight and you'll have the link. You sign up tonight. Within 24 hours, you're going to get a phone call from your first advisor. They're going to walk you through how to get into the system, make sure you understand how it works. You're going to tell them that Steve put on an amazing webinar and he already explained it all and I'm good. Just kidding, obviously. And they're going to guide you through setting up your business credibly, or at least making sure your business is currently set up credibly. But it doesn't stop there. They're going to call you the next day too to make sure you have no other questions. They're going to check more. Then they're going to call you the next day. Matter of fact, it's almost kind of annoying. 5 times in the first 5 days. In addition to that, you're going to have an 800 number where you can call your advisors anytime. Anytime. 9 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. You're not limited to the number of calls. It's not, well, listen, for this price, you get 1 call a week. It doesn't work like that. You need help, we're here for you. We don't just disappear. Our goal, our job, our mission in life is to see you succeed. We get so excited. When that young man called me about that $50,000 credit line for Flying J, I don't know who was more excited, him or I. I know what it means for his business, but to be in a business where the phone calls you get are all great news, it's amazing. So anyway, so you're going to get lots of phone calls. 7 payments, $497, or we'll discount out. If you can do simple math, obviously 7 times 5 is $3,500. If you do 1 payment, we're going to cut that by $1,000 to $2,497. That's a $500 savings over our normal discount and $1,000 over what the payment plan would be. Okay, option 2. Option 2 is our partner program. You can offer business credit with our VIP program because all of our partners are very important people. That you're going to be able to do for 7 payments of $597, which is normally $697. So you're saving $100 a month on that. Again, $700 savings. Or you can do a one-time payment. Again, we do the same thing. 7 times 6 is $4,200. We'll discount that down to $3,497. That's typically $3,997. That allows you to be a partner. Now, if you remember, what I told you is you're going to make roughly $2,000 to $2,500 each time you sell somebody our core program. Now, keep in mind, this is your business. We don't dictate what you sell it for. Okay, you can sell it for any number, but you have a certain cost. And if you're interested in the partnership program, call me. I'll talk you through the details, explain what it costs you every time you sign somebody up for the licensing, and what we suggest you sell it for, but you can sell it for anything. I have people that are selling it for a lot less than this, still making lots of profit and selling tons of them. They just want to recoup their costs. But let's say you actually sold it for $2,497. And you took roughly, let's say $2,997. Let's say you took $2,000 in profit, roughly. The program's only going to cost you $3,400. You only have to sell 2 of these and you're profitable. Now you're building your business credit for free. You've made a profit. You're happy. You've made 2 other people happy. And it could just continue to grow from there. Now, here's the great news. All right, you're all seeing the money like, oh boy, here we go. Here's the pitch. We take all the risk. This is risk-free. You get full access to everything with your first payment, like I said, shifting the risk to us. So there's no real downside and massive upside. I mean, massive upside. This will change your life. I keep saying that, not because I want you to hear it, because I want you to believe it. It truly will change your life. We're so sure you're going to love this opportunity, so sure, that we're going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. So now we're giving you full access. We're charging you, if you want to do the payments, one payment, full access, and if you're not happy in 30 days, we'll give you your money back. We don't do that very often. And not because we wouldn't, but because people are always happy. It's as easy as visiting creditsuite.com/webinar, the number one. Don't forget the number one. If you go to webinar, it'll be a dead link. Again, I was a quick fill-in. Everything wasn't set up properly. That's my fault. I kind of was messing around doing my thing today and went, oh my God, I have a webinar I have to jump in on. Once you order, you will immediately receive your login credentials to your finance suite. Immediately. So if you decided to leave here right now, go to creditsuite.com/webinar1 and sign up for our program. Either program, you're going to have access instantly. You're going to get an email requesting you to set up your password. You're going to log in, create your password. You are in. And then again, the advisors will begin calling you tomorrow. Now, you can also call us directly at our 1-800 number. I'll get you all that information in a minute. Plus, there's more. Here's a little webinar bonuses that I'm actually going to give you tonight. First one, 30-minute initial coaching call with our expert advising team. Typically, our advising phone calls can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes because that's really all that's necessary. If you really want to dig deep, 30 minutes with an advisor, your first phone call, okay? And if they know you're a webinar, you signed up on a webinar, there's a tag that's applied, they know to spend at least 30 minutes on the phone with you on your first phone call. That's a big deal, especially if you're just thinking about starting a business. You have some ideas, you want to get started, and you're really a little confused. That's a big deal. So you're going to get 30 minutes of that. You're going to get your credit monitoring with Dun & Bradstreet and Experian for $24 a month. I talked about that. It saves you $2,200 a year. Now, keep in mind, our program's going to cost you $24.97. We're going to save you $2,200 the first year. So now you're into our program for $297. However, remember, we're listing you with the National 401 database, which is roughly a $300 value. Now you're at zero. It gets better. We're going to pay you to build your business credit. We're going to give you that valuation. We know it's worth about $600. And I did a real quick skip. You got to see kind of how it works, but it goes in depth. You're going to find out exactly what your business is worth if you ever wanted to know. Okay, we're going to give that to you for free. All right, we've had people sign up for that. And typically, that's what we charge, or the server that we use charges $597. Here's the best part. Let's say you want to become a partner, or you're just interested in publishing your own book. We're going to give you a free, ready-to-publish book to become a published author this week. Greatest business card in the world. This is going to be a book about building business credit. You're going to put your smiling photo on it, or whatever you want to put on it, your name on it, ISBN number, the whole deal. We'll show you how to get it printed, put it on your desk. When you're talking to somebody, hand them a book with your name on it. It's amazing the looks you'll receive. We're going to give that to you for free. Okay, now, we talked about this earlier, our unconditional guarantee. If you get started but don't feel what you receive is worth every single penny of what you paid, and I just showed you how technically you're not paying anything, we're going to save you almost the cost of the enrollment just on the monitoring, and then add in the 411 listing, the free book, the consultation, the business valuation. Technically, we're giving you more than you're paying us, and we're happy to do this. It's worth every penny of what you paid. That you have or will be able to make many times what you spent. Cancel anytime in 30 days and receive 100% of your money back. And you're not going to get, no. I don't care if you call on the 29th day. If you call on the 30th day and say, I just wasn't ready for this. I'm uncomfortable. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. No problem. Our values here are higher than any company I've ever been. We are all about service. We're all about passion, innovation, teamwork, extreme ownership. We own what we do here. We own that we're going to help you. And if you don't believe that's the case after 30 days, we're happy to give you your money back. That's important to us. So keep that in mind. All right, to recap, when you order, you immediately receive your own business finance suite with 24/7 access, a concierge advisor, business credit building support, and business credit building support. You're going to receive your free DUNS number if you don't already have it, D&B credit activation, valued at roughly $1,500. You're going to get your free Experience Smart Business Access, roughly $600 a year, and the largest supply of starter vendors, a massive selection of revolving store credit. Again, back to the Walmarts, the Amazon, Staples, Lowe's, AutoZone, Dell, Apple, Sherwin-Williams, Sears, and more. MasterCard, all of this, again, tied to your EIN, not your social security number, and no personal guarantees. You're going to get up to $150,000 in unsecured financing that reports to the business reporting agencies. You're going to have access to that, available for good credit applications only. We talked about that. Now, let me give you a little more information on that. You're going to need to have a 680 credit score, and that's your bottom credit score, okay? You're going to need to have at least one high limit account that's reporting. In other words, a high limit credit card. And when I say a high limit, anything over $3,000. They actually say 2, but I like to say 3 because you know how lenders are. And if you don't have that, then at least have a mortgage that's a year or 2 old. So it's got to be seasoned. You can't just have gotten a $3,000 credit card yesterday and want to apply for this today. Typically, you're going to get 5 times what your highest limit credit card is in your pocket. So if you have a $20,000 Visa card, you're going to get $100,000 or more in real credit that reports to the business reporting agencies, and you're going to get an approval. Typically, it's same day. Typically, your funding is under 30 days. I see this happen day in and day out, and it changes people's businesses because they need instant cash. All right, so that's available for good credit only. You're going to get finance officer support. You're going to have your own finance officer that's going to talk to you. They're going to, when you call in, they're going to know exactly who you are. They're going to be able to pull up your file, know where you are in the system, tell you what you qualify for. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to call you the first week that you sign up just to run through and see where you are, because there might be money for you that you're not even aware of. That's going to happen for you, again, within the first week. You're going to get a free 411 listing valued at $360 a year. We're doing that for you for free. I showed it to you. All you do is put your number in, hit submit, and we're going to list you with the National 401 database. All right. You're going to get hard to find cash credit sources. This is a big deal. Everybody knows to go apply at XYZ company for a Visa. We know where the best sources are with the best rates and who are going to approve you for the money you need. Again, build your business credit the right way. It's a process. It's a journey, not a destination. All along the way, you're going to be building your credit. You're going to be getting more and more money for your business. Now, you're also going to be able to dispute and fix credit inaccuracies with all 3 reporting agencies. As we talked about, you're going to have access to fleet credit with no PG, no credit check. That's a big deal. Again, we talked about that trucker, $50,000 from Flying J, from Pilot Flying J, $50,000 in credit for fuel. Big deal. Oh, by the way, didn't mention, less than 1 year in business. As a matter of fact, less than 5 months in business, and only in our program 2.5 months. So if you wanted to talk about a success story, to me, I know there's somebody who did $1.2 million. I'm more impressed with that. Barely in business, just getting started, nervous Nilly, obviously, he's concerned. He's risking his entire family's, livelihood on this. And we're able to get him $50,000 within a couple of months. You're going to get auto vehicle financing in your business name only, not in your personal. You're going to get credit monitoring for only $24 a month. We already talked about what that's going to cost you if you go to Experian and D&B on your own. You're going to get cash flow and collateral financing starting at only 2%. All right. And by the way, this is after you've paid your fee, you have, and I didn't go into that. I'm glad somebody asked that. Who asked that question? Steve, thank you so much for asking that question. This isn't just access, you get through it for 1 year and you're done. You're going to get 1 year of advisors. And by the way, you shouldn't need 1 year of advisors. By the time we're done with you within 6 months, you're going to be a business credit expert. Our advisors are going to teach you so much, you're going to turn around and be able to come to work for us. However, you're going to have access to the program for 5 full years. Now, there's a reason we put a limit on it, not because we want to limit you. Matter of fact, if 5 years comes and goes and the site goes down and you haven't gone through the system because you were lazy or something happened or whatever, you just call us. We'll give you access again. We just had to put a date on it because can you imagine we'd have 10,000 websites out there that are active that nobody's ever logging onto. So we had to find a way to cap it. Otherwise, you can imagine our servers would eventually crash. So it is a one and done. It's not a yearly subscription. You get in, it's all yours. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Steve. So again, with our partner program, we can offer business credit and financing and get paid for it. You're going to get, again, we talked about it, extensive training. You're going to get the contracts. You're going to get the sales scripts. You're going to get, there's just so much. There's videos, there's brochures, there's drip email campaigns, there's webinars. As a matter of fact, if you sign up as a partner and you need help talking to somebody about business credit and you've watched all the training, but you're just not quite sure yourself, not only I, but the rest of our team will be happy to get on the phone with your potential prospect, act like we work for you, and sell them the system in your name. They'll have no idea who they're talking about, who they're talking to. As a matter of fact, they're never even going to hear the name Credit Suite. They're never going to hear Ty Crandall. They're only going to hear Finance Suite and your company information. They're not going to know who we are. Here's the best part. Let's say one of your prospects finds us by accident. We are the biggest in the country. It can happen. Google is a big, you know what Google can do. And they contact us and we run a search on their name in our system and we immediately see that they're tied to you in one way or another, either as a prospect, you got them on a drip email campaign, doesn't matter. We immediately refer them back to our partner. So we give them your phone number and send them back to you. We don't talk to them anymore. The only time we're going to talk to them is as advisors through our advisor hotline or as a finance officer. But again, we're representing you. They don't know who we are. If you call our finance officer, our partners finance officers, or advisor line, they never say Credit Suite. Okay, I'm gonna answer all your questions. I promise you. And by the way, this webinar will be given again soon. It's actually, if you're on our list, we're going to email you a copy of this webinar. You're going to get a chance to see this webinar again. Okay, so let's get back to this. We're going to get you sales scripts. I can go on and on about the partnership, and we can have one-on-one conversations if you guys like. But you're just getting a ton with this program. It's truly a business in a box. Now, there is another program called the Ultimate. I'm not going to go into that tonight. If you want to know the difference between the Ultimate and the VIP as a partnership program, the VIP is a great program. You can customize everything. It's outstanding. The Ultimate is like business in a box. It's like saying, I have a pizza shop versus I have a Domino's. And if you're really interested in really taking your business to the next level and you really want to be a partner, call me directly or call one of our team and ask them about the Ultimate program. We just don't have time to get into that tonight. It's that powerful, okay? And we will give you a special on that. Again, talk to one of our team and we'll talk to you about that. Okay, so again, PowerPoints, eBooks, the whole deal. We can go through all this 100 times. There's so much here, and we'll even send you a demo of the system if you ask. All right. With our partner program, you can offer business credit financing, get paid. You're going to keep getting, again, more and more. 10 articles, Spanish marketing, finance training. There's so much in here. I could drag this webinar out till midnight, which I know none of you want to listen to. Again, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation about it, I'd be happy to do that. All right, let me skip out. Here's some webinar bonuses you're going to receive. We talked about this, the 30-minute initial coaching call with our expert advising team. It'd be fine with you. Thank you very much. Well, we drug it out till 12 o'clock. Credit monitoring with Dun & Bradstreet Experience for only $24 a month. Free business valuation worth $600. I kind of gave you a hint of how that works. Free ready-to-publish book. This is really cool. Don't underestimate the value of this ready-to-publish book. It is the coolest thing. I have seen people's faces when one of my partners, and I've been out speaking at their location as a guest speaker. Again, they thought I worked for them. To see them hand out a book that they published about business credit with their name on it, their whole perception changes. The people that they're talking to immediately just respect everything they say about business credit. So don't discount that. That's a big deal. Okay, again, our unconditional guarantee. You get started, you don't feel what you receive is worth every penny of what you paid. They will make many times what you've spent. You will get 100% of your money back within 30 days. And actually, I say up into including the 30th day. You want to go to creditsuite.com/webinar1. Okay, don't forget the one. Okay, one because you guys are number one. All right, that's the end. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to take you over. I want to show you our website. Okay, so there it is, creditsuite.com/webinar1. You're going to see the webinar special. Now, typically there's a countdown here. You guys are so special, it just never ends for you. But typically it's good through Friday, okay? And tomorrow it probably will actually set up, but our development people weren't aware that Ty wasn't going to be able to do this. Like he said, he had an emergency, and you got stuck with me. I apologize. Hopefully I was able to educate you a little bit on how you can build your business credit. But here's the two programs. You're going to see the core package is to the left. That's everything that's included. And to the right is the VIP package. If you go down the bottom, it's going to talk about the bonuses. It's going to give you your payment options. You click on buy it now. On either one, it'll take you and it'll automatically give you the discount. Okay, I'm going to leave this up again. creditsuite.com/webinar1. If you want to reach out to us, call us at 877-600-2487. Again, that's 877-600-2487. If I'm not here to talk to you, one of our experts, and there's lots of us here, will be able to help you out. They all are aware of this webinar. Now, let's go over to the questions and answers. I apologize, I wasn't able to answer these all at once. All right. My company has ever been rejected by the bank due to immature and incorporated less than a year. How do I qualify for business credit? I'm glad you asked that question. It doesn't matter if you started yesterday. As a matter of fact, I said in the beginning, if you start tomorrow, your business, within 5 to 6 months, we're going to have you $50,000 to $60,000 in real usable credit and beyond. Okay, so I don't care if you started your business yesterday, last week, last month, last decade, or tomorrow. It's going to work every single time. Now, let's talk about time in business. There's something going on out there that I want you guys to be aware of, and I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called buying shelf corporations. I will tell you right now, stay away. Okay, here's what's going to happen. You're immediately, within 60 to 90 days, you're going to get flagged as fraud at DMB. Once that happens, good luck, can't remove it. You might as well just shut your company down and start all over. So any goodwill that you think you've gained by buying a company that's 10 years old is completely gone. By the way, they don't look at the age of your corporation based on when you register the corporation. They actually look at it based on when you started your bank account. So even if you change banks, if you can show continuous bank accounts within reason, you can, maybe 1 month separation. But if you think buying a shelf corporation is going to help you build business credit, it's actually going to do the exact opposite of that. You're going to end up in such a sad situation. You're going to have lost the money you paid for buying the shelf corporation. Any business credit that you started building, because that's the problem, they don't always catch you immediately. It could take 90 days. Now you've built up trade lines, and oops, you're flagged as fraud. And that's the worst part. It doesn't just say bought shelf corporation. It just says fraudulent. Nobody's giving you anything. Nobody's ever going to approve you. You might as well close the company and start up a whole new company. Okay. Nobody asked me that question, but I know people are out there offering that. Okay. Again, if your company's immature, if it's brand new, don't worry about it. You're going to be able to qualify for business credit. All right. Let's see. Does this work in Canada? Richard, the problem with that is it certainly, we can help you build your business credit, but everything's based on getting loans here in America. Now, I have clients who are in Spain, England, Canada. I have one in Costa Rica. What they've done is they've set up corporations here in America, which you can do. And if you want to know how to do that, contact me directly, again, at 1-877-600-2487. You can ask for Steve. Actually, you can ask for anybody. You call that number, you'll talk to one of our salespeople here, and they'll all be able to help you with this. So here's what you'll do. You'll set up something called a TIN, all right, with the IRS. You can start an LLC with a TIN here in this country. You want to get an address here, so that's where the virtual address is going to come into play. Get a phone number tied to your address. All of the things you would normally do to build a business credit, you just want to make sure you start off setting up, because you're going to have to set up as a foreign company, but you can set up with an American location. If you do that, you can build your business credit just like everybody else. Only issue you could run into is you're ordering products, especially in the beginning with vendors. You have to order the product and you want to have it shipped to you so that you can pay the bill. Canada, no big deal. Spain, England, it could take you 3 weeks to get the product and you got to pay it in 30 days. So it's something you have to be aware of, but it certainly can be done. Matter of fact, I want to go back into the net 30 accounts. One of the companies we talked about was Quill. And I've had people say to me, well, what am I going to order from them? I have no idea what I'm going to order from Quill. Well, my first question is, if I went to your house today, do you have toilet paper and paper towels somewhere in your house? Of course, everybody says yes, right? Well, Quill happens to sell toilet paper and paper towels, along with a million other products. So what I suggest people do, especially starter companies who really don't have a lot of cash and they want to build their business credit, find products that you're already going to buy for your home. Okay, you already have a budget where you know you're going to have to buy paper towels and toilet paper at some point, unless you're using leaves out back, and order those products under the business name, have them delivered, and pay the bill. You've now not only received a product that you were going to use anyway, you've gained the bonus of a trade line, okay? All right, let's see, what else do we have here? Will this webinar be given out? I missed about an hour. I wanted to hear the entire webinar. I wanted to know if it'll be done again. Yes, Brenda, I said you will get an access for a rebroadcast of this. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Let's see. Webinar special. What is your website? www.creditsuite.com/webinar1. What is the dial-in number? Oops. How many callers on the line? Blah, 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 blah. Will this webinar be given as soon? Yes. It'll be fine with me. You gave your number so fast that I couldn't jot it down. What was it? Yeah, I do talk fast, guys. They call me the road runner of webinar giving. This webinar typically takes Ty about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Last one I did in like 51 minutes. So I apologize. And I'm super fired up still about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Sorry if you're a Patriots fan, but I've been suffering for a long time. I'm 51 years old, and I'm really, really not over it. Anyway, the phone number is 877-600-2487. If you look over on our www.creditsuite.com/webinar1, you're going to see the phone number listed right up top. Call anytime. If you call this evening, you won't get anybody, even though I'm here. Leave a voicemail. Don't hang up. Leave a voicemail. Say you're calling about the webinar special. Someone will call you back tomorrow. We're in the office. We're nationwide. The East Coast starts at 8 a.m. Matter of fact, we're usually in here at 7, and we're here till 6 to 7 at night. And then we have people all across the country. We have Midwest and we have West Coast. So if you're on the West Coast time, you'll be able to reach people. As a matter of fact, our West Coast guys probably are just finishing up right now. So if you want to call tonight, leave a voicemail. You will be called back. Make sure you leave a time when you would like to be reached out. Or if you just want to sign up, just go to the website, sign up, and somebody will reach out to you tomorrow. Probably will be me. If you have any questions, you can certainly call me. I would give you my direct number normally, but I really want you to call the 877 number in case I'm tied up. Somebody will be able to help you. All right. Was that too fast, Brenda, or are we good? Is there any other questions, guys? Let's see. I've lost most of you, it looks like. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank Dave and GrowthThink for having us here. I hope I was able to give you just a little bit of information that can help you in building your business credit. We want to see every one of you succeed. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@creditsuite.com. That's info@creditsuite.com, or call us on our 800 number at 877-600-2487. Again, that's 877-600-2487. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I know it's late, and I know I talk fast. You will get an invitation to watch this rebroadcast. My name's Steve Weibel. Thank you again so much. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.